It's now official. We are living in one of the worst droughts of the past 100 years. The part of our country we call the breadbasket, the section of the U.S. that feeds its share of the world, is burning up right now, the worst conditions they've seen since 1956. The governor of Illinois says his state has never seen anything like this. He calls it a disaster of epic proportions. Over a third of the U.S. corn crop is in big trouble. Over half the country is now affected. And the problem is forecasters can't point to any rain on the way. It is where we begin here this evening with NBC's Kevin Tibbles. He's in Walker, Iowa tonight. Kevin, good evening.
Brian, this is corn country, and it is parched. These would usually be fully formed ears of corn by now. In this state, they're pretty much worthless. And farmers at the grain elevator behind me in Walker say they know their yields are going to be way down this year. Many are starting to wonder whether they'll get any crop in at all. Many farmers are throwing up their hands and looking to the heavens.
We've done all we can do, and it's up to the good Lord to supply the water and send it on time.
More than half the country, 55%, is now in drought, with crop yields at their lowest levels since 1988. Corn futures closed 34 to 40 cents higher today, and prices hit record levels for soybeans, too, as the drought-stricken conditions in the Midwest and elsewhere pushed prices higher. In Illinois, where a combination of extremely hot and dry weather in the first 6 months of 2012 broke records.
Thank you.
Governor Pat Quinn announced today the state would be assisting farmers and residents in drought-impacted areas.
We've never had it this hot, and we've got to come together and help our neighbor, because Illinois, we're a mighty agricultural state.
In the last 12 weeks, the drought has grown dramatically, expanding into states already too hot and dry for livestock. In Arkansas, ranchers are selling their herds because hayfields have shriveled and drinking ponds have dried up. While this year's drought covers more square miles in more than 50 years,
wind and dust storms scourged the heart of the nation.
It's not a repeat of the infamous Dust Bowl conditions of the 1930s, which lasted a decade.
We're far, far away from a decadal scale drought, so that was something that built up over a tremendous period of time. If you look at the absolute peaks of drought, we're certainly getting very high this year. There's no question about that.
And the heat is not letting up.
That heat builds east for Tuesday. Look at these temperatures. 97 New York, 101 in Washington. We break by Thursday, but the dangerous heat just shifts back to the heartland and the Southwest, at least through late week.
How bad is it? Well, there are even reports tonight that water levels on the mighty Mississippi are so low the river has become unnavigable near Vicksburg, Mississippi, and this dry heat isn't going anywhere. Brian?
Do you have any food reserves in your home right now? How long could you provide food for your family if the food supply was cut off? A month? A week? 3 days? Wouldn't you feel better if you had the necessary reserves? Have you ever noticed that the more advanced we get, the less prepared we are? Many things that defined life only 100 years ago are so convenient today that we don't really think about what would happen if that convenience were gone. Consider how we get our food. We just go down to the grocery store and grab a few things. But what if something happened that interrupted the food supply to the store? How long would it take for the shelves to be wiped out? What would you do? How long could you and your family survive? You know, for all the other important things in our lives, we have a variety of professionals, from mechanics to doctors, to help cover our bases. Why don't we also have a food professional? Food is our greatest dependency. Yet most of us find ourselves unprepared for the uncertainties that lie ahead. Why take chances? Why not do something about it? You've already taken the first step. Keep moving forward with this tour, and we can help you put a plan together and even show you how to get your food for free.